construct it well enough.
Okay.
Given obviously the wastelands and strip and stuff. And then
no strip.
But... No, sorry, no strip. Wrong format. Given the wasteland, it's got ways to interact with
lands. The main thing that aggro loam differs from lands is Knight of the Reliquary and Liliana's. Is that right?
I believe so. I think that's probably the biggest.
We'll see the player's deck list in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get lists up eventually. But either way, so James, I'm assuming, won the roll. Looks like he kept the 7, chose to play. So James was on the play.
All right, so James's grip is holding a Goyf, a Punishing Fire, Barbarian Ring by the looks of it, and a couple of lands.
Yeah, he's got a Wasteland there, which whether you know the matchup or not, holding a Wasteland in your opening grip always feels good.
Yeah,
it's a nice little safety. So that's two. This is a aggressive first hand. From Shimeng. Shimeng, is that how you pronounce it?
Shimeng, yeah.
Shimeng. So that's 2 mocks.
Looks like he's looking at a Canopy there.
So, Canopy goes down. So what else is in his hand? So he's got a life from the loam.
He's got Loam, Gamble, and looks like...
So he's going to loam. Picks up the 2 lands. That's a great opening hand.
Yeah.
That's a great opening hand. A lot of options now.
For sure.
A lot of options going into 3 mana. 3 mana.
Here we go, firing off Mana Bonds.
Yep. All right, so now James, Shimeng chips. James didn't see what he drew there. So we've got a local, very active member of the community, both local and internationally. Steve is unable to play. Apparently, he's working from home today, but he is tuning in. So, hey, Steve, I will miss you in commentary today, my friend. That's a Wasteland hitting the Tiger. So first fetch Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay? I don't pretend to know every deck that well. Is that normal?
I'm not sure.
Is that indicative of something that I should know?
There doesn't seem to be anything. He does have Fire in his hand, Punishing Fire. Otherwise, he's got Goyf and Chalice.
Okay.
So I guess it's just getting access to the red there.
Yeah, it just wants the red red access early. Okay. So fetches again, gets a Bayou, plays a Goyf.
All right, and passing it back to Shimeng.
Yeah, shifts it back.
Huge start for Shimeng. He's dredging Loam.
Dredges Loam up.
Can't exactly see what he got off that one. I see a Grove. Missed the second 2 cards.
Is that a Flusterstorm? Can't be.
It can't be.
It can't be. It looks like the top. It can't be. There's no way that's a Flusterstorm. All right. So Shimeng is empty-handed at this point? Just has the Loam in hand? No, he obviously has the Loam. That's it, right? His only card in hand being the Loam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly. Is he holding 1 down there?
Just the Loam.
All right, casting the Loam.
Casts the Loam.
Putting out Wasteland, Grove, and
so
looks like a fetch there.
Yeah. So what do we reckon here? Is he going to just Wasteland again?
It seems like a good strat, honestly.
It seems fine, but that said, you've got an online Goyf, which is currently, land?
Looking at land sorcery. I can't see that last card in Shimeng's graveyard, but it looks like just 2 different types. Using the Wasteland here on the Bayou, bringing James down to 0
looks like
land.
He's on the denial plan here, but look, James still fine here. Goyf online, it's not sure if it's the exact size, but it's not small.
No.
Definitely still doing okay. So it's currently a 3/4. There we go. There's a Goyf die. Well, kind of.
That's a regular die. But
there's a
any
Goyf
die
die.
can be a Goyf die if you try hard enough.
Not quite. There's the specific Goyf die that's got the offset. It's got the 3/4 and the 4/5 and stuff. But it doesn't, because it's a 6-sided die. It doesn't account for the potentially 7/8.
The old tribal sorcery.
Is it 8? Can it go as far as an 8/9? It can't it?
Oh god. Okay. So creature, instant sorcery, artifact, planeswalker, enchantment. Tribal.
No, 7.
Land.
Land. Yeah, go 8/9. You can go to an 8/9. Fabled 8/9 Goyf.
Man.
All right, so it looks like we just picked
looks
up
like
a
Knight off the top for James, but it's a long way off casting it, thanks to Shemeng's strong Wastelands.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. So there's a Forest.
Here we go. Forest attacks with the Goyf, which we established as a 3/4.
Yep. Looks like was James's graveyard bogged then? It looks like it's been turned sideways. So did we miss it getting? Is that there? There's the Bajuka bog in play.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so sorry, didn't recognise the foil Bajuka bog there. So, efficient way to shrink the Goyf there.
Yeah.
Still not small, given the fact that Shmeng's own graveyard is quite full and will continue to fill. So the Goyf quite strong in this matchup. I mean, Shmeng in a good position here, but still got to deal with the Goyf.
So Shemeng looks like he's pulling up a Thespian stage with the Life from the Loam.
Yeah,
I missed that last land on top there.
Thespian stage. Is that another? Is that?
That's Amazabeth.
Amazabeth. Okay, all right. Shiny foils, man.
Yeah, man. Shemeng's deck looks awesome. So the main difference, like you established earlier, was that James is playing Goyf's Knights.
Yep.
So he was probably looking to get a good file style in Shemeng before he could establish this kind of board presence.
But double Mox Diamond.
Yeah.
Double Mox Diamond turn 1 Loam is probably going to get you.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate efficiency for this deck, right? Like being able to land Mox Diamond, cast Life and Loam, pick up the 2 lands. Like you're feeling pretty good at that point.
For sure.
You're feeling pretty good.
The main difference is as well that Shemeng wants to make a 2020. Does James play that in an aggro deck? Or is it more just focusing on Knight and value?
I don't believe so. Okay. I don't think they play the depth package. Just given the fact that they're more worried. Given the fact they just want to be aggressive with their creatures.
Sure.
So in that case, what's happened there is a Thespian Sage copied the Horizon Canopy.
Shemeng's just digging for some access to his win cons, looking for a gamble or Dark Depths itself.
Yep.
Or a Crop Rot.
Yep. Yeah, Crop Rot he's fine. James with access to, on board, no way to deal with a 2020 Indestructible.
It's a big one here. We see the Dredge from Loam flipping a Punishing Fire into Shemeng's graveyard.
Yep. So
noting he has Grove in play as well, which is the combo.
Yeah, it is a good combo, that one. He has double Life and Loam in hand.
Currently, Goyf is a bit too big for the Punishing Fire, but we'll hopefully see some use for it.
Yeah. All right.
So casting Loam again. Getting back Canopy and Maze.
Yeah,
just so they can draw through some more cards.
Yeah, so the Mazavith is a good way to deal with the singular threat that James has on board here. He's been playing very deliberately. Knows what he's doing. Knows what he wants. James sort of a passenger at this point in this game anyway. As the second Life in the Loam.
Look at this engine, man. Oh, my God.
Loam is a card.
Yeah.
Loam is definitely a card. It does things. It does them well. I'm not going to lie. You can whiff. I mean, it's definitely it's consistent, but it's also, the consistency comes from the fact that you've got, 4 of the cards you want to see in your deck, but not necessarily, like, you can still quite easily whiff. It's not like a guaranteed sure thing. James still sitting on his Goyf. Not sure what that card is. So he's going to play a Barbarian Ring?
Yeah.
Yep. So plays a Barbarian Ring.
And just saying, we haven't mentioned it much in this game, but that Mana Bond is doing so much work for Shemeng, putting all of his lands into play at the end of each turn.
Yes.
So it turns like that double Loam just turn into an explosion of board presence.
Yep.
Here we go, Chalice from James.
So that's going to be
which is huge.
Chalice on 1.
It'll be on 1, so that's stopping Gamble, Crop Rotation.
Stops a lot of Shemeng's deck.
It doesn't stop the combo itself, but it stops ways to get it.
Yeah, exactly. It slows him down.
Yeah.
It doesn't slow down his ramp per se, or his ability to gain more land. It slows down his ability to finish.
Yeah.
James is sitting on a Council's Judgment. Long way from casting it, though. It needs the double white.
Yes. So it looks like here Chalice is on the stack and Shemeng is searching a response. I think he might draw a couple of cards in response and try and
Yeah, I think he's either trying to find an answer to it immediately or just getting the value out of the cards he has before he can't cast them.
Yep.
I feel he's probably just doing what he can before they're uncastable.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Here we go. Firing off the canopy.
Yep. Fires off the canopy.
Dredging
up loam. Hits a crop rot.
Looks like a second punishing fire there in the grave as well.
Second punishing fire, wow. Dredging
a second time, so it looks like... the second canopy, yep.
Double Ghost Quarter and another punishing fire? Or is that another grove? That's a grove.
Yeah, it looks like a third fire. You're right.
Yeah.
So 2 groves in play.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Yep. All the recursion. All right. So, still, it's like I believe this entire sequence of play is still all in response to the... No, it's gone. No,
it's his turn now.
Shmeng's taking his turn. So, still needs to find an answer, I guess. Still needs to find a win con here.
Yeah.
Going to continue dredging.
There he goes, doing loam for Horizon Canopy, Thespian Stage. Draw more cards.
Yep.
Did you pick up the bog there as well, or is that...
I think
I missed that one. Yeah.
No, bog's still in play.
It's an Expedition Wasteland.
Yeah, Wasteland.
Just a very dark foil.
Yes, it is. So right now, doing some pretty effective digging through the deck, trying to find. I'm guessing he's just going for the win with the
for sure
with the Marit Lage. So trying to find a Dark Depths.
And there's no rush to do it here. He's got James's board locked down.
Well, I mean, he's not, but the Goyf is slowly doing damage.
Yeah.
Shmeng is down to 10.
Yes. So he did a couple of hits in there earlier while he was drawing cards instead of Maze of Ithing.
Mm-hmm.
But now
I suppose, of course, the Maze of Ith is still in play, so he can at any point decide to slow down a little bit and hold the Goyf back.
That's right. Shifting over to James, seeing a Caracas at the top.
Now that's a good one.
Yeah.
Marit Lage has a hard time attacking when it doesn't exist.
That's very true.
That's a good one. All right, so the interaction there, basically, I'm sure most people watching understand it, but Caracas bouncing a target legendary to its owner's hand. The token that is created by the Marit Lage, by the Dark Depths combo, is a legendary. And when tokens leave the battlefield, they cease to exist.
That's
right.
However, does Shmeng play Wasteland?
Yeah, maybe we can get Shmeng to move his lands just across or forward a little bit, just so we can get a slight better view of what's in play, given the fact that it is quite important here. So, seen a lot of his deck. Well, actually, about half, right? Maybe a little less, about a third. So now Shmeng has to reassess here. So he sees the Caracas. Now he needs. I mean, look, he's got ways to deal with it. I mean, there's Ghost Quarter in play. He's got Wasteland. So it's not really an out for James. Shmeng's just got to keep doing what he's doing. So now we've got the list up here. So unsurprisingly, little land. So
they don't call the deck spells.
Yep. No. So it's 35 land. All the stuff you'd expect to see. You've got your combo there. Your 4 Ghost Quarters ways of dealing with stuff. Your 4 Wastelands. A cheeky Tabernacle in there for the mainboard Tabernacle for the creature matchups. There's not a lot of complexity to the list in terms of what it does. It plays lands and the lands interact with each other.
The list, it writes itself, however, lands is a list where it definitely rewards player skill.
Oh, definitely.
And Shmeng looks like he knows this deck inside and out.
Knowing your lines is very important.
Yeah.
Knowing your outs at any one time is a major part of the deck.
Yeah.
Because it's not always obvious how you're going to win a game.
And speaking of knowing your outs, we've seen James resolve a Knight of the Reliquary.
Ooh.
And Shmeng brings back 2 punishing fires to go for the burn villains and takes it out. Yep. And that's the thing, the deck has answers to everything, but you have to be creative in how you find them. It's not just like, all right, I force, I spell pierce. It's like, I've got to find this and figure out a way to take out this situation.
Yeah, so Wasteland hits the Caracas there.
That's right. It'd be interesting to see if James plays more than 1 Caracas. Because if he does, he's able to find it with Knight at instant speed.
Yeah.
If he had Knight.
If he had a Knight. But I feel the answer...
Oh, here we go. I think I just see a Dark Depths from Shemang dredged off of the first loam. And with the second loam, it looks like it's going to take it.
Yes. I believe you're correct.
Yep.
Night J pointing out that James is probably just playing one Karakas, which
it's likely.
Fear would be correct. Obviously, Legendary Land doesn't help you if you've got more than one in your grip.
I think so. The Night J is definitely correct. There is one Karakas in James' list.
Yep.
Other answers he has to a Resolve Merit Large look fairly slim.
Not a lot.
Is the Council's Judgment, like you mentioned.
Council's Judgment, I think that might be it.
Cool to see that James is playing one copy of Abrade in the main board.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
The card is ridiculously popular in Standard right now.
Yeah, it's real good.
And, there are artifacts in Legacy. There are creatures in Legacy. It's still good here.
So there's an out.
Oh, wow.
So there's an out. So obviously, not immediately an answer, but so James did just rip a Wasteland. Shemang has enough answers, I believe. Yeah. So Shemang just immediately able to Ghost Quarter, I think he did there, forcing James to scoop. So let's see. So what have we got on the board? See if we can get those deck lists up again. All right. So on the sideboard, we have 1 Chalice, 3 Corrosive Grips, 1 Pithing, 4 Sphere.
So I just saw Shemang flip the Tireless Trackers.
Okay.
Looks like he took 1. Oh, I think I missed that last card. Anyway, what would you bring in if you're Shemang in this matchup?
Well, I mean, you didn't... In that game, I mean, it's a bit strange because, I mean, he had such an explosive start that, it feels like if he can do that again, anything on his board is just going to slow him down.
That's right. However, James can have a start like that too.
Exactly,
Mox Diamonds, he can just ramp into a Knight or a
possibly Corrosive Grip. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it to hit your opponent's mocks and stuff like that, and just deal with their mana.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm definitely not. I wouldn't consider myself a lands player. I actually don't know here what would be the best option.
Tyler's Tracker definitely good. It gives him more card advantage, like he was doing in that previous game, and gives him a body on the board.
Yeah, Tracker seems fine. I mean,
it's possible that Pithing Needle could come in.
Pithing Needle naming.
You can name Knight.
Knight seems fine. I mean, I don't know if it's good enough.
Yeah.
To do that though, but why not? I don't know. If I'm Shemang, I'm not changing too much.
No.
If that makes sense. I feel like right now you don't want to change too much of your main board because so it looks like
he brought in the needle and the grips as well.
Looks like he brought in 2 grips, yeah.
Taking a look at James here, he's got some Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, those are good ones. They do deal with an indestructible creature. I didn't see the other card that he did pull out though, so definitely bringing it. Yeah, so the swords for sure. The ley line, I think is definitely worth it.
Yeah, sure.
It does impede him a little bit, but I think against the lands player, given what just happened, I think it's pretty obvious that your opponent's playing heavily out of the graveyard.
So you can see he took out his Punishing Fires, of course.
Yeah.
Looks like he left he took out the Pride Mages, but he's deciding to put them back in.
Yeah. So he's going to take out a Chalice. Yeah, Chalice not doing a huge amount in the matchup. Other than, as we said, it doesn't stop Shemang from winning. It slows him down a little bit. It's a mild inconvenience.
That's the great thing about lands is that it is hard to interact with.
Oh yeah,
things that don't use the stack.
Generally, so many cards. Like just think about Magic in general. So many cards are non-land permanent. So many cards do this.
That's right.
The most common clause is to a non-land permanent.
Yeah.
When your opponent's primary interaction is all land-based, both with themselves and their reach is land-based with you, it's quite difficult to interact with that just inherently because of the rules of Magic.
That's right. And it shows. It goes a long way.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's a very well-tuned deck at this point. I think Lands has been around a long time. Has been played a lot in a lot of various forms.
Yeah.
But has definitely obviously, no, Magic's never been solved, but it's definitely got some formulas that work.
That's right.
So it looks like both players. Oh no. Shmeng's still having a peruse. Looks like he pulled out a punishing fire there. Oh, okay. So anyway,
while this game gets started up, it might be good to take a look at table 2. I've got a matchup between.
So table. No, apparently not. Currently, no table 2. So we'll stick with this one for now. Future rounds, we'll try and get that through. All right. So Shmeng shuffling up. All right. So you're James. You want to. I'm fairly certain. I didn't see him do it, but I don't know. I consider myself a pretty bad Magic player. If I was to, I think Leyline of the Void's definitely been brought in, right? It feels like it's too good in the matchup not to have.
Yeah, it slows down. It sort of kills his engine, right?
Yeah. I think
Loam.
I think it's too big of an impact. Yeah. So if you're James, seeing one in your opening hand would be amazing. I think immediately you're on the play as well. It makes no difference. Obviously, you start with it in play regardless, but I feel like it would be a pretty big hindrance to Shmeng's play. So there's
Here we go. James opening with a Mox Diamond, and in the rest of his hand, he's looking at a Goyf, Grove, Caracas, and a Green Suns.
So this looks like a turn 1 Goyf. No, turn 1 Green Suns.
Green Suns for 1?
Green Suns for 1.
Pulling out Deathrite Shaman,
that's a good one. Yep, that's intrinsically quite good in the matchup. More for the incremental effect.
Oh yeah,
obviously. I mean,
lands is a slow deck. Deathrite Shaman is a really good slow card.
It's incredible in the Loam shell itself, just because of what it can do. Lands in the graveyard, getting mana from them, making use of the spells that it's incredible in the matchup for itself, but purely against lands. Being able to just chip away at your opponent's graveyard, remove the things that are relevant, remove the spells that are relevant. It's a great card.
That's what's so ridiculous about Deathrite Shaman is it's a 1-mana creature that has so many tools tapped onto it, like the ability to restrict your opponent's graveyard, pick out key pieces, or just to deal damage or let you ramp. Or gain life.
So, Night J just pointing out, I think we also may have missed it in the deck list that I think James is only playing 1 Deathrite Shaman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the cheeky one obviously with the intention of being able to Green Suns for it.
Yeah. Just one.
So just the one cheeky Deathrite, one Gaddock T.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of a Green Suns package there. I like it. One Scoos as well. Yeah.
So relying heavily on his Green Suns. Apparently we've requested to have James dab if he wins the match. For those who've seen some of our coverage before, dabbing plays a large element, a large part of
of course
of the legacy community in general. Dabbing is a very important thing. All right, so let's see.
All right, so it looks like Deathrite Shaman just got punished by fire. We did just miss that last time. Looks like an Exploration was discarded to Gamble, and I assume Gamble got the punishing fire in the first place. Here we go. James is taking it back with a Goyf, which is currently at land, instant, sorcery, enchantment, creature. So that Goyf looks like a 5/6 right now.
Pretty big, yeah.
That's huge.
All right, what do we got?
Shmeng is just looking at 2 cards in hand, a second copy of Exploration, and a Thespian Stage. And we see here that the die is indicating that Goyf is a 4/5.
Yep.
However, I think it is a 5/6.
Yep. Shmeng correcting it there. All right.
Shmeng's got Stage. There's not much else he can do here. He's just copping 5 to the face for the next couple of turns. And we do see James ripping a Braid.
All right, so not a huge amount happening just yet.
All right, so Shmeng is copying Caracas with Thespian Stage.
Yep. So Braids the Mox, pretty good. Card advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a 2-for-1. It's a big 2-for-1.
That puts an artifact into the grave as well. So Goyf is looking like a 6/7.
Yes. Oh. Goyf is big. Goyf is very big.
Is 6/7 for too good? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Here we go. So Shemang rips a gamble off the top. This might get him back into the game. What do you search for here with gamble? He's looking at Loam. Okay. So Loam's a cool one because if you discard it, it's just as good as if you were to get it naturally.
Yeah.
So there we go. He gets the Loam, pitches it, and I'm not sure there's much else he can do on this turn.
Yeah, I mean...
There we go. Shipping it back to James.
James in a good spot here. James in a very good spot
Anytime I untap with a 6/7 and a pretty full grip, I'm pretty happy. Speaking of, he's looking at a Knight the Reliquary in his hand, a Tranquil Thicket, which he's cycling.
Yep.
And a copy of Leyline of the Void, which he definitely did bring in, Marcus, as he said.
Yep. Which currently can't be played. No, it needs 1 more mana, so he has a double black because of the Mox. I think if you're Shmeng and your opponent plays a... Well, maybe not, because the Void here... Does Chalice of the... not Void, sorry. Does Leyline of the Void exile all current cards, or just any future cards? So it's only hitting the future card, which means the Goyf size remains.
Yeah. It's...
which is pretty good. Apparently you may have had an experience in the past.
Oh, man.
In said situation.
I don't want to talk about it. I played in my first Legacy tournament. I played Bug Delver.
Yep.
And I was up against a Eldrazi deck where Leyline of the Void was brought in. My board was like 2 Death Red Shamans, 2 Goyfs.
I remember the story.
My opponent was playing the Graveyard Sideways from turn 1.
Yep.
So I assumed that their cards were exiled as well. Because I didn't read the card. It's entirely my fault.
Yep.
But that whole game, I was sitting there with my 6/7 Goyfs thinking they were O1s. Because both of our graveyards were sideways. And ever since, I've been, getting arm flashbacks every time I see a Leyline of the Void.
Yep. Sometimes it's better to just ask.
But that's a lesson for all the kids at home.
Always ask.
Read the card.
Read the card.
Always read
ask.
the card.
Don't be afraid to read cards. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's right.
If you're not sure about something in the game, ask it.
Yep.
Ask the question. All right, so Shmeng down to 8.
Oh, it's a beating.
James in a commanding position here got the... Oh, no, down to 2, apparently. All right, so I don't believe there's much he can do to not be dead next turn. Glacial Chasm. Might buy him a turn if he plays it. But I think... actually, does he play it? No. Does he? Oh, he does. He plays a 1 Glacial Chasm, so that would buy him... No, he's going to shoot. He's going to pack it up.
We see Steve jumping in the chat, says that... in response to me saying read the cards, he says, we say that every time somebody reads the card.
No, we make fun of it.
Yeah, we make fun of them.
Look, I'm guilty of that. I'll always point out a reader. But that I think it's more the stigma that goes with it. Like, reading a card in Magic it's like the phases you go through as a player, right? When you first start playing Magic, you have no idea what's going on. You read every card you see. Literally you read every card. You read your hand, you read your opponent's board, you read your lands, you read everything. Then you get a little bit better as a Magic player. And then you don't want to read anything because you feel that by reading cards, it makes you look like a worse Magic player. Or you feel there's like a bad thing. And then once you move past that point, you become a better Magic player and you read everything because you don't want to miss something.
The circle of life.
No, so reading cards, definitely, it's important. I mean, you're playing with it. The information's in front of you. A lot of the Magic... coming from, talking to our local level 2 Jimbo, and just anyone experienced sort of Magic players, most rules questions can actually be answered simply by reading the card.
That's right.
There's obviously there's some interactions that require a deeper knowledge of the rules, but generally speaking, a lot of judge calls, if that's why judges are there. There's no reason not to call a judge if you're not sure. But generally speaking, a judge will read a card, and the answer they give will simply be based on the text that they read on the card.
That's right. Magic's such a good game that it is written in a way that the wording is always consistent, so you can always work out
the templating is very good. Not so good given the fact that we're using some pretty old cards here. The Oracle text might be better.
That's what Oracle's for, that's right. So taking a look at Shemeng's sideboarding, it looks like he pulled the Krosan Grips back out. They weren't doing enough for him in that second game. And he's put 2 Punishing Fires and the 4th copy of Dark Depths back in.
So he's back in. All right, cool. All right,
for those of you joining us now, we're in round 3 of our first match here.
Game 3.
Game 3
of round 1.
Game 3 of round 1 in our first match.
Got there.
It's very early here. Well, not that early, but...
No, it's not. That excuse isn't going to float. It's almost noon.
All right, so Shemeng and James are shuffling up. It's been a good match. Shemeng had a awesome start here with a explosive first game. James taking it back with a massive glow in the second game.
Yep.
And going into game 3.
Yep.
Do you reckon any of these sides are favoured, Marcus? Or
no, I think
it's fairly split.
I think it's a pretty even matchup here. There's definitely, I think, definitely knowing your opponent. Like, I mean, that's a sort of a redundant statement because it's always true. But knowing your opponent's deck well is going to help you a lot in this matchup. I think in particular, knowing the sequencing of what lands you play, the sequencing of, so on Shemeng's side, knowing when to dredge, when to, when to play for what line, and on James's side, knowing when to be aggressive and when to try and
I believe these guys will know each other's decks quite well because they are, 45 cards the same.
Yeah, for sure. Night J just pointing out in chat that the in regards to the reading of cards, for instance, Chains of Metastopheles.
Oh, it's a hard card to say.
It's a hard card to play or read or even get for that matter.
Yeah.
There are some cards that you just always want to you just want to be sure. Yeah. Always. Every time. So both players looking at their 7, it looks like they both kept.
Oh, turn 0.
There it is. There it is. That is unfortunate for Shemeng. Not a nail in the coffin by any means, but definitely it's a pretty big impact. I mean, when you look at his hand, he's got a Life from the Loam.
His Loam looks a lot worse,
and a Grove of the Burn Willows. Looks like he has 2 Dark Depths.
He does.
No, he has Dark Depths and 2 Depths and 1 Stage.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
If he's got the time to do it naturally, that sounds good. Although James does play Disruption and he does play big, fast creatures. Yep.
So he's got the...
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so the El Natural.
The classic natural 2020.
Oh, that's a nice forest.
Yeah.
That's a nice forest. I like Shemeng's deck, man. I like Shemeng's deck.
It's beautiful.
It's real nice.
I could just watch it all day.
The foreign foils are real nice. Yeah. God, we're such elitists when it comes to cards. I feel like every time I'm commentating Magic, I'm always commenting on people's like cards more than the deck. You know what I mean?
That's where skill comes from. Like your skill is directly equated to how many foreign foils you have in your deck.
Yeah, for sure. Apparently it's a shame that Shemeng's not playing any foreign black bordered tigers, but. Oh, well.
Yeah, Night J is sad about that with capitals and an exclamation mark.
We'll have a word with Shemeng, see if we can convince him to pick one up. So what do we got? So I haven't actually seen James' hand here. So he's got 2 fetches in play.
His hand doesn't look as nice as Shemeng's. That's the issue.
Definitely. So he's going to pitches the Tiger to the Mox. So he's going to have 3 mana here, double fetching.
I think he's just jamming Knight of the Reliquary here.
I think that's correct.
It's a nice plans too.
It is. That's an No, here we are, Badmouth and James, and that's an APAC forest.
Yeah. It's 2 different sides of the spectrum. Like there's a player that plays like the cool like APAC lands, there's a player that plays the big foil shiny lands.
So the thing, my take on expensive cards, I could be playing an APAC land and know that it's worth a fortune, or not a fortune, but worth a bit. And anyone who walks past can be like, oh, that's just a basic forest. Meanwhile, I could be on the other side of the table playing my shiny as shit, full art, unhinged
You want people to know how good your deck is by the reflection in their face.
Everybody knows it. That's an expensive card.
All right, cool to note that James just slammed Knight, which is a 5/5 right now.
5/5 already, wow.
Whoa. James is hoping to ride out this game with this Knight. However, Shemeng is gambling. He's still looking at the combo pieces in his hand if he can get there.
So he's got both in his hand already. What's he gambling for?
Not Loam.
No, Loam
Void
doesn't
in
help him
play.
here. Is he gambling for Crop Rot, maybe?
I guess that speeds him up.
Crop Rot also gives protection. If he can wait a couple turns,
yeah.
the Crop Rot into the Sajuri, he does play Sajuri Step, surely?
Doesn't look like
No,
it.
He doesn't. Oh,
yeah.
no, it doesn't play any white, so doesn't play the Sajuri Step at all. So, all right, so Crop Rot not as powerful as it is in the Turbo Depths.
I saw him just pause on the Crop Rot there and go past it. He is looking at...
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, Nightjay just pointing it out. Yeah, we're silly. He's probably just going to go straight up and get the Croson Grip.
I think he got rid of his grips. I saw him sideboard 3 out. Yeah.
Oh.
Which is unfortunate.
I didn't even... I actually... When I was talking about the grips, I wasn't actually... Oh, no, he plays 4... No, does he play the main? No, 3 in the board. Yeah,
he started them in game 2 and didn't see it Leyline.
Yeah, that's
and then he brought them out.
I mean, I think I mentioned bringing them in game 2, but I didn't actually consider the fact that they're also a preemptive board for hate. Of course, naturally. I mean, hence why I'm commentating and not playing, because... Anyway.
Yeah, Nightjay pointing out in the chat that he could get the Crop Rot to try and grab a Bog or even a Needle.
Yeah. So Needle is... I think Needle's not the best play because your things, he's still big. Bog will shrink him for a little bit, but
it keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, it's just going to do the thing.
Mazavith slows him down.
Mazavith probably is a good answer here when your opponent is very front loaded on damage with a single creature. Because a Goyf coming down here, Goyf isn't going to be big at all. Goyf is a 1/2. If it was to be played, so the only threat at the moment is the Knight of the Reliquary. So I feel possibly just straight up getting a Mazavith is the correct play here.
It looks like he did pick up the Epiphany Needle instead.
Oh, okay. Maybe he has another plan.
It's possible he's more afraid of what the Knight can do. Like 5 damage is still, he's got 4 turns.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and also Nightjay also then pointing out the obviously some format knowledge there. The Mazavith is only a temporary answer given the fact that the Knight of the Reliquary can just go get a Wasteland.
Yeah. I love that Nightjay is educating us on the ways to play Knight of the Reliquary.
Definitely, yeah. something there, isn't there? Nah, as I said, I'll talk about Magic all day. I don't claim to be an amazing player. I enjoy the game in all its glory, but definitely leave the playing to the better players. I was going to say pros, but I don't think we've got any pros in the store today.
There might be 1 or 2.
So Nightjay is Justin. That says a lot. What's up, man? So Justin, another very active community in the local legacy community, active member in the legacy community. Got there.
He's his own community. The good guy. Right, Justin, thanks for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it.
That's good. Good to have you with us. Should be playing, man. What's going on? All right, so
looking at Chimeng's hand here, he has the Tranquil Figure, which is cycling.
Yep.
Looks like he picks up a Ghost Quarter. He's still in this game, but it's going to be tough. Because
there's a Grove.
Yeah.
Nightjay just pointing out that Uni's a thing at the moment. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I just finished just submitted everything for this try yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday. So I'm free for a couple of weeks. All right, so
James 2 turns in a row, wastelanding Chimeng's Grove, just keeping him off,
keeping him off the mana
that he needs.
That said, though, Chimeng is still. I was going to say
it costs
5/5 Knight, or actually no, how big is it now? It's like an 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 8. 8.
It's like an 8/8 Knight.
Yuck.
All right.
Yeah, and there's the handshake.
All right. So apparently we need a dab.
Yeah.
Where's the dab? Stand by for the dab. Dab incoming. All right. So that's round 1. All right. There it is. There's the dab. All right. We'll probably get a video of that. Hey, there it is.
All right.
So that's game 1. Oh, well, round 1 finished. Now what we've got. So we've got. I think we mentioned before. We'll quickly go over it. We've got 24 players.
That's right.
So there's 24 players in the room. We'll have a look at the bit of a meta breakdown, I guess. Some of the decks we've got in the room. So
what looks popular? So we're seeing a lot of.
Let's see. So there's an Alluren in the room. Ooh, spicy. I like it.
Shout out to Andrew Anastasi on Alluren.
Yep, we've got the normal stuff. So we've got Ad Nauseam. So we've got a couple ants.
Yeah, first impression here is there is a massive variety of decks in the room.
There's nothing clearly represented above anything else. What is interesting is for Melbourne, there was an era, I think, a little while ago, where Maverick was just everywhere.
Oh yeah,
everywhere. You went to a legacy event in Melbourne, and it was like, not Maverick. Sorry, Death and Taxes was like 50% of the room.
Yeah,
like everywhere you went, 50%. And today, there's some Death and Taxes, a couple decks, but not a huge amount. It's a good mix. It's a really good mix.
So picking out a few different types of Delver. We've got Rug, we've got Bug, we've got
Grixis.
A couple of Grixis in the room. And a Blue-Red as well.
Yeah.
A deck that saw a lot of popularity since GP Vegas.
Yeah.
Making it in the top 4, I believe.
Yeah. I'm super keen to see if we can get an Alluren. Hopefully the Alluren is up there, because I'd love to see that on stream.
Would be very cool. Got a couple of Dragon Stompies in there. We've got Black-Blue Reanimator. Don't see any red in the room.
So Leet Bub's just asking in chat if there's any lands. Yeah, we actually, I don't know if you may have just missed that match. We actually just had aggro loam versus lands.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other, I think there's one other lands player in the room. Maybe not. No, just one.
Yeah,
lands.
I think we just picked out the two lands players there.
The two primary lands players. There is another 4-color loam player.
Cool.
There's also a check pile player. So there's some interesting. There's a lot of interesting.
Yeah.
It should be good. The real broad stroke of decks here, which is good for us, because it means generally speaking, we're going to get a lot of different decks on camera, and get to talk about a lot of different decks. So unfortunately, we just in that Alluren actually lost game round 1, so might not have it on stream until possibly later. I'm gonna be rooting for the Alluren player, because I really want to see it on stream. Either way,
like Alluren fell to Death and Taxes in round 1.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll jump to a short break. I believe there's a little bit of time left in the round. So we'll be back with round 2. Stay with us.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll be back soon.